Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye Podcast. It is episode 48, and today we have something special in store for every one of you listening to today's podcast, whether you're here on the live chat or whether you are listening and tuning in via iTunes or SoundCloud, or as we just announced, we are now available on Spotify as well. So, thank you to everyone who's made this a possibility. We're on Spotify now, so that's very fun and interesting for us. So we're very excited. But before I drag on, let me introduce my co-host, as always, Mr. Christian. Christian, how are we?
I'm doing well, Ivan. I'm doing well. Just that much closer to the semester ending, and then everything will be stress free.
A true Cowboy Dan statement if I've ever heard one. Now, you all may be wondering why Cowboy Dan is not with us. Sadly, he could not join us as he is out filming a music video with Rick Ross and Little Baby. He's out producing his, most wonderful talent. So, Dylan, keep doing what you're doing. Say hello to Rick Ross for us, and keep it up, Cowboy Dan. Keep it up. We'll definitely be missing him today on tonight's podcast. But today, as we mentioned, Christian, it is a very special podcast because today we forget about the previews, we forget about the reviews, we talk specifically about what the people want to know about, exactly why we went to Twitter and asked that you guys submit your questions for today's live Q&A Eagle Eye podcast, the first ever live Q&A podcast. Christian, how you feeling?
I'm very excited for this, actually. I saw the questions previously. Didn't really dive much into it because, I don't know. I just want to be like a little bit like surprised, I guess. I saw a couple. I didn't see all of them, though.
Definitely. But it very good, interesting questions that I have here lined up ready for us to go. I mean, we just want to say thank you to everyone who submitted their questions, who gave us so many good questions. By the way, I mean, we're about to start with them, and also for those of you joining us in the live chat, if you have a question, make sure you guys submit it as well. We will get to everyone's question, and hopefully we can have ourselves a pretty good podcast here. All right, no Dylan today, like I mentioned. Christian, is just you and me. I think this is the second or third time that me and you do this.
It could be the second, actually. I don't think it's the third. We would have to go back into our Eagle Eye history to get that answer.
Looks. And talking about a little bit of history, it actually marks a year since me and Dylan actually started doing this whole podcast. Before there even was an Eagle Eye podcast, it was just a Club America podcast. I only had like about 2-3 episodes, but today marked a very important day, a year of being behind this microphone and talking about Aguilas America. So that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, Dylan can't be here. We can't reminisce in the moment, but it began, this domino effect trickled down to what we are today. And for those of you who don't know the story, let me give you kind of the quick recap of what happened, how it is that we got here to the Eagle Eye podcast. And I think we all owe it to Mr. Cowboy Dan. He messaged me on a YouTube comment saying if I wanted to do a podcast with him. And there's always a dream of mine to be able to talk about, Liga MX, preferably, of course, America, in English. And when he approached me, of course, I said yes. And I told him, what did you have in mind? And he said, we could do a whole Liga MX show, or we could do one specifically about a team. And I told him, well, what team specific did you have in mind? And funny enough, he said America. And at that moment, it automatically clicked. And, we got together after that. We started recording a podcast. We were terrible at first. You guys go back and listen to that one. It's completely, not to say that we're, professionals now. We still have so much to grow. But from then on, we kind of just strive to be better each and every other podcast, and hopefully we have. And from then on came the idea of giving it a name, and it became the Eagle Eye podcast. In December we announced it, and then of course the Eagle Eye podcast had its first episode in January. So we're running really close to a year of the Eagle Eye podcast as well. So that's going to be something very interesting and fun to do when that time comes around. And then of course now we're here with Cowboy Dan, you, Christian, and me talking about Aguilas.
Yeah, dude, it's a great story when you really go into detail. and it's gonna be fun when the Eagle Eye podcast makes its year anniversary in January.
It should be interesting. It should be.
And we have something special lined up for that, don't we?
We do. We have something very special lined up for that. So make sure you guys do not miss out on that podcast. It's going to be a year podcast. It will be in January, the first week of January. We will let you guys know. Make sure you guys do come on by because we are going to be doing something amazing for that 1 year just to commemorate not just the podcast, but you guys, specifically you guys who are the listeners. So thank you so much. And hopefully you guys can make it out to that live show. If not, so as always, we recommend you follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and now, of course, the new one, Spotify. So if you got yourself a Spotify playlist, make sure you guys throw the Eagle Eye podcast in there. Why not?
Definitely. We're a good listen.
I would hope so. All right, Christian. Well, let's jump straight into this Q&A. And hopefully by the time we keep on going, more people will be stopping by and giving us more questions for this live Q&A. So let's get started with the first question we received once we posted this this tweet out, letting people know that we had a Q&A going on.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
First question of the night comes from Mr. Alan Tomayo. Shout out to Mr. Alan and La Resaca Americanista out there. Thank you for all your supports. Definitely goats in the Club America just world, really. What they've been doing down there in Mexico is amazing, and I guess it's just really good. It's a really good kind of platform that they have going on, and that we can kind of base ourselves and kind of not specifically model ourselves after them, but take pointers from them and learn from them as well. Definitely. So it's great to have them and to be able to be call them friends. But Alan's question is here: favorite America player of all time.
Of all time.
That one's tough.
That is tough.
That one is tough because granted, we're very young still, but we've seen a lot of players come into this America side who could potentially be, for us, the greatest of all time, our favorite players. So, Christian, I'm interested to see what's going on in your mind when you're asked this question.
Oh, wow. So for those that don't know, I started watching in 2005. Funny enough, that was the year we won the Clausura. But so I guess what most Americanistas would say, the obvious answer would be you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go Cuauhtémoc Blanco. Only because, listen, I don't think I saw enough of him. And granted, I was at a young age, but looking back at it now and watching everything, you kind of have to appreciate what he did for us and realize that is really a once in a lifetime player. So I guess Cuauhtémoc Blanco would be my answer.
Okay, Cuauhtémoc Blanco. I would imagine that is the answer for a lot of us. Cuauhtémoc Blanco. I was really, I really had a hard time with this one because, as many of you guys know, I started watching around the same time as Christian, La Clausura that we won, and it was tough because at that same Clausura emerged this young potential goalkeeper by the name of Francisco Guillermo Ochoa, and I really just followed his career from then on. So as much as I want to say Cuauhtémoc Blanco because he is the GOAT, he is a player that we will never have a player like that ever again. I think I'm going with Guillermo Ochoa.
Guillermo Ochoa?
I'm going with Guillermo Ochoa as my all-time favorite America player.
Speaking of Ochoa, do you remember that jersey he had it was white? The America logo was in the middle.
Yes.
We're sponsored by Bimbo at that time. It was like white, red, and blue.
Yes.
Remember that was my first actual ever jersey.
No way.
I swear. I think I still have it somewhere. It's lost somewhere. But if I ever do find it, I will definitely show it to you.
That is amazing.
My first jersey ever. Yeah.
Now that jersey was amazing, but I always thought the coolest jersey that he ever wore in an America year was the one was like the Azteca one. It was white with blue, but it was like all Azteca symbols.
Yes, Yes, yes. It was the second outline was like kind of like bluish.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking
That
about.
one was
That
a
one was
beautiful jersey.
dope. Yes, that was crazy.
Um, and actually, I think he designed the one that you wore.
Oh, the one with the one in the middle,
The
the one
one
in
that
the middle. Yeah.
decided and said, I
Hmm.
want to go with this.
Yeah.
And we gave it to him. And he actually had one of the best games I've ever seen him play with that jersey. It was in a semifinal against Chivas in the Estadio Jalisco. He absolutely shut out all of Guadalajara, and it was an
Mhm.
amazing game. I still remember this to this day, and it was a great matchup. Whoever hasn't watched that, go and watch the highlights of just Memo Ochoa of what he did that game. Absolutely mind-boggling.
Mhm.
Very interesting.
Goalkeeper goat.
So you say Cotomo Blanco.
I said
I
Cotomo, yes.
say Guillermo
Give him a
Ochoa.
try.
Interesting to see if Dylan was here, who'd he pick?
Dylan would pick Narciso Mina, definitely,
I would.
definitely,
I feel like he would
hands
pick
down,
Narciso Mina too. I
hands down.
think. I think Cowboy Dan and Narciso Mina are low key very good friends.
Honestly, I think so. I think they have each other's WhatsApp and they text like every single day.
They do. I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
they probably go back and forth, and they probably exchange recipes on.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I
Hmm. And
definitely
Dylan gives him singing lessons. You know, it's the whole 9 yards basically.
definitely I could see that happening. So I think okay, Cuauhtémoc Blanco, you, Guillermo Ochoa, me, and
Hmm.
most likely Cowboy Dan would definitely say Narciso Mina.
Narciso Mina, definitely.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. All right, let's move on into the next question here. It's a very interesting one, and one that we hear a lot during
Go
this,
for it.
and it is, can we get rid of Roger Martinez? Shout out to Sergio, that is at
Ooh,
Serge Jizzle. I think that's how you say it. Shout out to
nice.
Sergio,
Hmm.
who gives us that question, and I repeat it again. Can we get rid of Roger Martinez? That's his question.
Now, I wish he would have went a little bit more in deep. Like, does he mean like this winter or next summer? Because if it's this winter, definitely not. 100%, he is not going anywhere this winter. Next summer, though, still don't see him leaving. But if he has another goalless season next season, then there is a chance that he could leave.
I could definitely see that too. I
Mhm.
can definitely see that too. I think maybe what he means in a sense is, can we just get rid of him because he is
Like,
just
just
he's been terrible. I mean, not trying to sugarcoat anything here, but he has
mhm,
been terrible for us this season.
that is true. Um, I wish this wasn't the case, and who knows? We've been saying this every single podcast, but maybe against Veracruz he scores a hat trick, and then we're all praising him, and we forget the other 16 games that happened. So who knows?
And funny that you talk about that Veracruz game. Maybe we should also mention that the game is not going to be played in the Estadio Azteca, like
Oh
Terrasaca
yeah,
Americanista had
breaking news.
confirmed.
Breaking news.
Although it didn't all pan out. It was speculated that it could be moved to Veracruz, but it looks
But
like Toluca was nice enough to let us borrow their stadium for this game.
only
And
this game.
yes, only this game.
Only
Only
this
this,
game.
because
Because
the
there
coach will
was
be back.
yes, because also I think we asked for it in the Ligia as well, and they said no.
Smart. Why would you? Why
I
would
know,
you?
but yeah, but people are saying because I'll wait. But my question is, Azteca won't be ready for La Liga next week
Well, the Liga, yeah.
because we have to remember that Cruz Azul is in the Azteca too, and they will have home games like us. So in the second leg as well. Like
Yeah.
how does that work?
I guarantee you that one of us will get Sunday, the other one will get Saturday. That's how it's gonna go for home games in the
Is
Liga.
that possible?
Yeah,
That's possible. Okay,
and
I didn't know that was possible. That's why I'm asking because I didn't know that we can play. Like I thought we needed to let the grass breathe for like a day or something. I thought that was a rule.
no, they'll
They'll
have
have okay.
one
So
on Saturday, the
America
other
will play
one Sunday.
Saturday and Cruz will most likely play Sunday.
Most likely, yes.
Most likely, yes. Okay, because I didn't know that actually. See, I learn something new every day.
There you go. The more you know,
There
the
you go.
more you know. But yeah, that Toluca game is that Toluca game. That Veracruz game is gonna be played in the Estadio Nemesio Diaz on Saturday.
Pop
This is
quiz.
cool.
Ivan, do you remember the last time we played at the Nemesio Diaz local? Do you remember the last game we played?
The last game we played in Estadio Nemesio Diaz as
Mm,
local. Was
that's
it a
local.
Libertadores game?
It was a Libertadores game, yes.
Was it? Who did we play against? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember exactly. Who do we play?
Oh, I thought you would know. I know it was a Libertadores game for sure.
I remember. Yeah, I remember we had
But
a
it was
Libertadores game there. Um, I don't know exactly who we played. Um, I'm trying to remember here, but I can't. It's not clicking. Nope. Who knows? But maybe if you guys do know, let us know in the comments and tweet at us exactly who. When was the last time America played in the Estadio Nemesio Diaz as local? That should have been a great trivia question, by the way.
it should have been a great church question, but it's not. Oh wait, was it Libertadores? Dude, I think we're giving false information.
Oh my!
I think it was a Sudamericana. I think we're confusing it.
Was this Sudamericana?
I think it was a Sudamericana. Wasn't the team from Colombia? Like the team in blue? Yeah, I remember they were wearing blue. Weren't they wearing blue? Pretty sure they were wearing blue.
Dude, we're talking years back.
Dude, this
We're
is
talking
probably
years and
this
years.
is probably 11 years ago.
Wow. I mean, my brain can go back, but
Yeah, same. But
no.
listen, anyone listening to us, you gotta cut us a break. Me, I think it was Sudamericana. Now that I'm thinking harder about it.
It probably was.
Chat, let us know. Go on Google, do something, please. Let us know.
Hashtag help.
Hashtag help us because we don't know everything, unfortunately. Even though we should, though. Isn't that our job to know everything?
We try to do our best.
Mm.
That should be simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Thank you
So,
again, Sergio, for that question.
I
Moving on,
love how we strayed off from that question.
right? That's terrible. Hopefully he got himself a pretty decent answer. We're
Yeah.
sorry about that.
Mhm.
Really, really sorry about that. Now, here comes a question from someone who we know quite well, someone from the community, Miss Cari Torres.
Karina.
Shout out to Miss Cari Torres, doing wonderful things with her lady podcast with Amelia and Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Very fun listen, actually.
it is a very good listen. It's interesting to see a different perspective
Oh, definitely.
and and intake kind of what the ladies have to say in regards to their own soccer. Because this is more about the ladies and their football than it is about the men's taking kind of a consideration into what they're doing.
No, definitely. Mm-hmm.
So keep up the great work, and then of course her other podcast, another football podcast, also a great listen with our also someone we know pretty well, Mr. Tom Harrison.
Tomas.
So here is the question for Gary. If you guys could pick 3 players from the teams that aren't in La Liga and add them into your squad in La Liga, who would they be? And I will add on why.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, well, first of all, we don't really know all the 8 teams that are in. I mean, we know like the top 4, top 5, maybe, but the other rest are still going to be in play in the last day of the league
This weekend.
this weekend. Yes, this weekend. As it stands right now, I think 11 through 18 are out of league. Yes, so if you want to choose from there, I mean, we can choose from there if you want.
Yeah, we'll keep it at that. We'll go from 11
Okay.
to 18.
Okay, 11 to 18. Okay, 11 to 18 is Chivas, Puebla, León, Lobos Buap, Necaxa, Tijuana, Atlas, and Veracruz.
Okay. If I was to pick 3, and I think I would go with someone from Atlas and
Okay.
Brian Garnica.
Brian Garnica. Okay.
I mean, the guy is extremely talented.
Mm-hmm.
I will then go with someone in León, and I would bring Mr. Boselli.
Okay, that was one of mine.
We need goals, and I think he would definitely fit in perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one, I mean, it's tricky, but I think I'd go with Necaxa.
Necaxa, okay.
And what is that player that they have? Victor Davila.
Victor Davila.
Definitely an amazing player, great, versatile. And I think he'd add a lot to the America side that sometimes we lack when, for example, Renato Ibarra isn't on the pitch, or
Right.
when, you know, players like Cecilio Dominguez or Ibarwen are kind of, inexistent in a match.
hmm No, yeah, those are some great picks actually. I think I said one of them. It would be Leon's Mario Boselli. The second one I think would be Puebla's Chumacero.
Okay.
He's the midfielder, and like you said, he provides a lot of offense, honestly, and his creativity for Puebla it goes unnoticed. He does so much for Puebla, and I mean, I guess it's because no disrespect to Puebla, but I think it's a team he's on. He doesn't get that much recognition from the community, but that is a player I've had in my I've kept an eye on for a while. The last one, I see. I don't want to copy off of you because Victor Davila is a great player.
He is, man.
Yikes. Was Tijuana is not in either? What is Tijuana? Listen, I don't know. This is hard. Kind of put me on the spot. Maybe I should have went over these questions.
Probably should have.
Wait, Lobos. Wait, who's that? Huh. You know what? I'm gonna just say Davila too. Davila is honestly an amazing player, and rumored to be moving this winter, and it's not to America. So it's a little bit disappointing, but it's good for him honestly to get out of Necaxa and explore and showcase his talent somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. Now, this is from us just kind of knowing Dylan and knowing Cowboy Dan.
Oh my
I
god.
think I think his pick. I think honestly, he would definitely pick Militon Hernandez. I think
From Veracruz.
he would definitely want Militon Hernandez to come to America and try to do some stuff. And another Veracruz player, I think he would love to have Osmar Mares back.
Osvaldo Mares back, definitely. I was gonna do Osvaldo Mares, but I didn't want to get
That was Dylan's pick. Let's
the
be
hate.
honest. That was
Oh, and Necaxa's Willy Peña, duh.
yeah. Look, those three
Who's not
players.
even in Necaxa anymore, but we're still gonna say he's in Necaxa.
Yeah. For the meantime, we'll say for this question, he's still
Okay.
uh, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be Dylan's Cowboy Dance's pick for three players that would come that he would take from the Liga, the teams that are not in the Liga, and put them in America for the Liga. So shout out to Cowboy Dan, who always has some very good, interesting picks. And shout out to Miss Cari Torres again. Thank you, Cari, for your wonderful, wonderful question. Actually had Dylan there on his toes.
Yeah.
I mean, Christian, look at that.
Go. Let me see.
Alrighty. Well, let's move on into the next question. And I'm using this one because it's very similar to Cari's question. But it's a little bit different in a sense. Let me read off the question and then you'll kind of get a base of it. But shout out to Mr. Little Hattrick at Mexican Soccer 9. Great guy, great friend.
Oh, great guy, yes.
Says, who are three players from Liga MX, not in America, that you would like to have in the club, and who's one player from outside of Mexico that you would love to join America? A realistic option, though. Question mark.
Oh, okay, from Europe. Okay, from anywhere outside
From
America.
anywhere
Okay,
outside of Mexico.
okay. One player that shoots right off would be Victor Guzman from Pachuca.
Okay.
Imagine Victor Guzman in America. Oh my god.
I mean, he would do much more right now.
Roberto Alvarado from Cruz Azul.
Okay, interesting.
I love that guy so much, honestly. Like I was so upset when he actually went to Cruz Azul. Honestly, maybe not now, but it has to be from now, right? Like realistically from next season, if we really wanted these players. Okay, so no, never mind. I was gonna say Gignac, but No, that's he's. I think that ship has sailed. Um, you know what? I'm gonna say Alexis Vega from Toluca.
Okay. Okay, that one was
Mhm.
actually interesting. I would
Mhm.
not expect Alexis Vega. Okay. And who is your one pick outside of Mexico?
Oh, outside of Mexico. Oh, yikes.
Realistically speaking.
Realistically speaking, I love how I'm picking all attacking options. So maybe I should go defensive and say el pollo briseño
Okay.
to back up to yeah. We'll go with that one.
You think that's actually that would be realistic?
That is realistic.
Okay.
Definitely realistic. But there's rumors that he might go to Chivas though, which I don't know why. Because why would you go to Chivas? When you have America.
Yeah, well, some people sometimes don't see it that way.
Yeah, that's
Although a
true.
lot of controversial going around that team right now with their signings.
Oh yeah. But we don't get into that mess though. So
We don't. We let them take care of it.
yeah, we let them deal with that drama. But yeah, Vega, Guzman, and Roberto Alvarado.
Nice. Now I'm
All
going.
Mexicans, by the way, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah,
All Mexicans.
look at that. I will say this though. I will copy you and say Victor Guzman because I
Mhm.
think right now he is on fire. He's just ridiculous. I think he'd be great. Now, if I'm going with someone in Mexico, well, in the Liga MX,
Mhm.
um, this is tough.
It
This is
is
really,
tough.
really tough
It is
because
tough.
I'm trying to find areas of the pitch in which we need reinforcements. Um, and I think I definitely would probably take Mario Boselli still.
Mario Boselli, really.
Be-
Even at his age right now.
I think he has 2 good years left in him, and I think that's what America just needs right now.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Mario Boselli would be a great addition. Um, and I'm thinking someone to partner him up with. And this is someone that's kind of been in the rumor mill and definitely has been linked with America for quite some time now. And I think this partnership might work pretty decently, and that is Aviles Hurtado.
Arives Hurtado. Oh,
That imagine a
really? That's
partnership and
honestly
the very
very.
at top with the likes of Ibarra, Mateo Uribe, Guido Rodriguez, and Ibarwen
That is
all
very interesting. That's so weird that you say Alves Hurtado because I saw that article today that America was flirting with the idea of trading Cecilio for Alves Hurtado.
I would be okay with it.
Um, me too. Actually, me too.
Yeah, would be interesting. Would be interesting indeed. So again, thank you,
And
little
if, and if that happens this winter, just know thank us, guys. Yes.
or thank little Hatcher because
Or
he's
thank
the
Little
one
Hatchet,
who
yes.
gave the question. Actually, I didn't give my one pick from outside.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean,
This is hard because you have a massive pool to pick
yeah,
from.
but you have to keep it realistically because if we're not, I would easily say freaking
You know,
Fellaini, but I don't
no,
think that
yeah.
would happen.
Hmm.
Um,
Wait, you didn't think Briseño was realistic?
no, I don't think he.
Oh, you don't think it's realistic?
No, I don't think he would leave Europe in that sense.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he's killing it right now, so you're right. I don't see why he would, but money talks nowadays.
It most definitely does. Trust me. Um, I mean, look, I want to say, uh,
Listen,
some,
we
I want to say someone like Miguel Almiron or someone like
Joseph
Joseph
Martinez.
Martinez.
I was thinking Joseph Martinez, but then people might say because I support Atlanta that that's why I'm saying that. But Miguel Almiron, imagine Miguel Almiron, imagine causing havoc in the middle of the field.
I'm looking more at Joseph because Joseph is. It looks like he doesn't know how not to score.
That's true. The only problem with Joseph Martinez is his temper. Like it could be seen as good or it could be seen as bad. Mostly in Atlanta, when he gets really frustrated, he shuts off. There's no going back. You're not gonna get him back into the game. That's the only one downside of Joseph Martinez I can think of. Other than that, though, he's a natural killer.
But if I had to pick someone to come in that is realistic, I think I'm going someone like Diego Reyes.
Diego Reyes. Now, see, that's realistic too. I should have went Diego Reyes.
I think Diego Reyes would definitely be a very good candidate.
Right. Definitely. It sucks that he's not really getting noticed in Europe. Because he's honestly a great defender.
Nice, nice. Well, that's actually a pretty good some pretty good picks, I would say.
Now we just need one of those to come true.
Hopefully. I mean,
Hopefully,
yeah, I think we would be content
with
uh
at least one, maybe two. Hopefully.
came through, right?
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, this is kind of a perfect segue for us to kind of pause and give you a little bit of a chance to give today's
Oh.
trivia.
Okay. Sure. No problem. Let me pull that up right now. Funny enough, I think today is like a throwback thing because 2005 seems to be the topic for today. But today's trivia question is: who did America defeat in the 2005 Clausura semifinal? Not the final, semifinal.
Oh, that one's good. I think it was Veracruz.
Yeah, I'm at. Oh,
Hello?
Hello. Oh,
oh my
who is
goodness!
joining us right
From
now?
straight from the Bahamas.
How? What? Y'all told him I was at the Bahamas?
Dylan, it's AKA Cowboy Dan. Dylan, is Rick
Cowboy
Ross
Dan.
still with you?
Say hi to Rick
Huh?
Ross for us.
Is Rick Ross still with you?
No, DJ Khaled is now.
Okay. So get him on the pod.
I told him, I said, man, I have this podcast to do. He said, you got to do it, man, another one. I was like, okay, cool.
Another one, yes.
There you go, Cowboy Dan, ladies and gentlemen, making his appearance in tonight's episode. Dylan, how are we?
A short appearance. I'm doing good after a long concert.
There you go. See, we weren't lying to you. We told you he was out with Rick Ross and Lil Baby filming a music
There you
video
go.
for a concert.
Y'all put artist names out there that I don't even
Dude,
listen to.
is that your car going off in the background?
Yeah, I'm in my car right now.
Are you turning?
I just turned. I literally just turned.
Dude, I heard the little blinker noise. Oh, dude, that was so funny.
Yeah, I'm in my car right now. So what question are we on?
Ooh, this is
we're actually giving the people a question. Right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's trivia time, Dylan.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it. I want to hear the question.
Okay, the question was: who did America defeat in the 2005 Clausura semifinal?
Oh, the semifinal. I have to say it's Real Madrid.
Listen, you can't get freebies. No freebies on the pod, please.
No freebies. I wasn't trying. I'm trying to catch up still. I mean, that's probably the only question I probably got right, so I can catch up on the leaderboard.
That's true. You're now at 10 points. You
10
remember
points
you?
ago.
10 points. There you go.
Scaling little by little. So shout out to Mr. Chicken Biscuit who says driving and podcasting, the ultimate multitasking at hand.
Definitely.
That's how you know the grind's real for me.
That is true. That is
Dedication. 100% dedication.
All right, gentlemen. Okay, well, don't forget that you guys are also allowed to ask us questions in the chat. Make sure you guys do drop us a question if you guys want to know anything. It is the Q&A segment of the Eagle Eye Podcast.
Literally anything. I'll answer anything.
Yeah. Even if you ask what my social security number is, I might just give it out.
That not 100%, but we might give it out.
All righty, let's move
I
on.
give out my phone number.
What?
I give out my phone number.
I'll definitely give out my phone number. I don't have a problem with that, actually. Yeah, I definitely have a problem with that. It's 911.
Yeah, I call right now.
Yeah, call them out.
All righty. Well,
actually, don't do that.
When they're like, 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, they said this was the Eagle Eye hotline.
And then yikes.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to another question from Twitter, and then we'll take questions from the group chat. How's that sound? All right. All right. Here is a question from Mr. Anthony Erejon. I'm sorry if I butchered that, man.
Oh, that's my friend. I know that guy. Yeah. Shout out to him. Yeah, he's a really good dude. He actually lives in Jersey.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to you, Mr. Anthony. Question of the night for him is: what are the real possibilities that if we don't get number 13, that Piojo is gone after the season, and who would slash should replace him?
I'm gonna say I'm sorry because I didn't hear you because yeah, I just didn't hear you.
Okay, looks like we're not listening. That's minus 2 points for Christian in the in trivia. What
Thanks.
question from Anthony says? What are the real possibilities that if we don't get number 13, that Piojo is gone after the season, and who slash should replace him?
Okay. Um, if we don't win the 13th in December, Piojo is gone. In
Okay,
my opinion, 100% should be gone. Has to be gone this December if we don't lift 13th. Who could replace him if we don't win? Yikes! That's a large pool to actually nothing. Not really that large, but there is a few candidates. Wouldn't you say, Ivan?
I would
Mm,
like to hear your thoughts on that one.
uh, the last podcast I said El Russo, but no one. Oh wait, or maybe we weren't live when we said that. We were talking about that.
No, we didn't.
We weren't live. Okay, so and I think it was an after podcast meeting. We somehow this conversation got brought up, and I said Russo, and everyone looked at me like, "What the hell? You are crazy." But my defense to that was that he didn't get a real chance. Well, he did get a real chance. Just the team he had wasn't, up to par. And we still went far. We did good. We did good. Even with that squad, so maybe he deserves a chance with a decent squad or a real good squad, depending what we do in the transfer window. So that would be a good pick. I would want to see what Vucetich would do in America, and I think the popular one. Well, I want to say popular, but the one that was talked about at least for a brief moment was Rafa Puente. Um, I think Rafa Puente would fit in very nice in America, actually, and I do think that one day we will see him at the America bench.
I don't know. I don't like Rafa Puente, but that's
Oh, you
just
don't like Rafa Puente?
Nobody likes you, Ivan.
Mm.
I guess I have no counter argument to that.
Go for it.
Dylan, what's your take on this?
My take, to be honest, I know me and you kind of agreed on it a lot, Ivan. That we said that we give Piojo to the Clausura, but to me, I don't know, man. I kind of agree, Christian. Christian, I wouldn't be really surprised if we see him out by December. But then again, I still think the board give it to the Clausura, at least. But really, I think it would be nice if America were to hijack Oscar Pareja from Cholos.
Oh, interesting. I mean,
Oh, interesting.
someone that you've seen throughout the years and know kind of decently well what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at it after, I think it was like 15 plus years since FC Dallas up to the trophy, and he had them lift two up, Supporter Shield in the Open, and they did good things. Like I think it was 2 years ago, and the Coco Champions. Just kind of disappointing and some heartbreak for me a little bit there, even though it kind of ended good too. But it's just the team that he had at FC Dallas would never really seem to live up to the potential, and I feel like a lot of people were blaming that on him whenever it should have been half and half, but it seemed to go more on Oscar than anything.
No, yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Um, I would say that he is not gone this December if he doesn't lift the trophy, but he is gone at the end of the clausura if he has not lifted a trophy, not
Ooh,
Yeah, A
A
trophy. Yeah,
trophy. Yes, I caught that. I caught that.
a trophy. So if we win Copa MX next season and do not lift the trophy in in the clausura, then you still see him for another season.
This is off topic, but I'm actually kind of sad we're not in Champions League this year.
It is quite sad because
Mm.
the Champions League is well, it's just a little bit more of entertainment than what a Copa
Yeah.
match is.
Mhm. So
That is for another time to
that's for
discuss.
another time, definitely. So
All right.
I'm actually very interested to hear your next answer, Ivan.
Okay. So, I mean, I've said it myself. I don't see there is a perfect candidate out there for America to come in and say, yes, you are the perfect replacement. You are going to get us perfect. But now coming to
Romano.
there is one coach that is available at this moment that has done it with America.
Romano.
No, Romano has not done it with America. Romano almost took America to second division.
So,
um, I think I think right now, if I had to take someone, it would most likely be Mohamed.
Turco Mohamed. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Turco Mohamed.
But again, I don't. After him, I mean, I don't really know if there's another coach out there that I'm like, yes, he fits the criteria. A lot of people say Vucetic. I
Christian
wouldn't
said
mind.
Vucetic.
I said Vucetic.
I mean, I wouldn't mind him, but I don't know. I feel like he just would bomb. Um,
That's interesting to take actually because he actually does has done pretty well.
he has done pretty well. I mean, his Monterrey side was extremely well.
Mm.
But then you see, I don't know. I guess it's just kind of something that I feel inside.
Right.
So we'll move on into the next question.
I'm sorry, just to
No, no,
back up my question or my answer I meant. Because I saw it in the chat and UCL and UCL reminds me of Real Madrid. But you know what Real Madrid did with Zidane and now is doing with Solari? That you bring in someone that knows the team, that knows what it means to be on Real Madrid and lives and breathes Real Madrid. That's why I chose Russo because that guy. If you want to see America in a person, it's that guy. I mean, maybe Ivan, you can agree,
that's
maybe
debatable.
disagree.
That's debatable.
Like,
I tell you that, yeah. No, I agree with you. America should
right?
have someone in
So,
like that.
like, you know,
But there's only one
it's,
person.
it's been a while since we had that. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure Miguel Herrera, El Piojo, like loves America. Like probably has America to his heart as of right now. But Russo, though, listen to me when I say this guy lives and breathes Club America, and I'll end it there.
That's debatable because there's only one person out there that I know could come into this side and actually do the same thing Zidane did with Real Madrid. But he's not coaching right now.
Exactly.
He's too busy in the political side of things.
Oh God. Don't remind us of that.
No, he is the only person. Yes, you want someone that knows what it is to play in America, who knows what it means. Why not get the one player that came out of the cantera, the one player that came
So
out?
Why not get you? Why not get you, Ivan?
Because they saw my resume and they said, you know what, you're 2 credits short.
Greatest story. God dang.
But Cuauhtemoc Blanco would probably be the only
Right.
player that could come in and do that.
Right.
He's always said he's always wanted to come in and coach. He's very good friends with Emilio Escarraga, and Emilio has said whenever Cuauhtemoc Blanco wants the opportunity, and if the opportunity is there, it's more than his.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for me, that's the only guy I would want.
Right.
That's the only guy I would want. The only guy I could see coming in and doing things exactly the way Zidane kind of did them.
Okay.
But that is for me. As Carlos said, Vasco Aguirre,
Vasco Aguirre.
who actually does know what it is to play in America, played in
True.
America, would know what it is because he won a title with America.
Mm.
So I mean, that's another good person. But I guess we'll end it at that. I mean, everyone has their own.
Wait. I want to add one more thing before I go because that's like I said when I came on, it was only short term. Now I have to leave again.
Okay.
But I did want to make an appearance, Ivan, because I know this day is very special to the podcast and to us. But I do have to go because my grandparents are waiting for me as we're about to go eat dinner.
Nice.
So yeah, we're gonna have DJ Khaled there too with us.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Fancy.
But no. Like in all honesty, like whenever I see a a coach, like I'm not even gonna give a person. I'm just kind of gonna give some qualities that I want to not necessarily qualities, but like characteristics I want to see out of him. Obviously, I want him to be a good leader to the team, and obviously give the respect and the confidence in the team, especially who he picks to be his captain. Um, just looking for those things too, and motivate his team. And one thing too, I just it may seem bad at times, but like I just want him to be like critical about every single little thing too. Like I don't care if it's a 4-0 win for America or a 3-0 win. I want him to pinpoint what exactly they did wrong still and where they can still improve. Because no matter those big results, there's always somewhere and something that the team has done wrong that he doesn't like, and he knows it too. But at the end of the day, he wants to celebrate the win and he wants to keep the team in high spirits. But he's also got to realize the little things that they don't do right that they can do better on. And that's something that I want to see from this next coach, whoever we get, whether Piojo stays or not. I think me and you and I even agree to the extent that if Piojo does not have a title by the Clausura, a title, whether it be Copa MX or the league, then he's out. But then again, I kind of agree with Christian. I wouldn't be too surprised if Piojo's out by December. But that's all I got to say on that as I make my way out of the podcast, probably for the rest of the night. I wanted to make a short appearance and say hi to everybody and all that.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Cowboy Dan, for making your quick appearance. I know you have you're a very busy man, doing very amazing things. Go ahead, go enjoy your dinner. Tell DJ Cali what's up. See if he ever wants to come on the podcast,
Yeah.
and go get yourself another one.
Another one, yeah, exactly, man, exactly. But no, I'll talk to y'all later, and thanks for the fans for tuning in tonight too and everything. But I'll talk to y'all later.
Alrighty, thank you, Dylan. Godspeed. We'll see you
Yeehaw.
very, very soon.
Bye, guys.
Alrighty, well, there you guys have it. Cowboy Dan making a short appearance. And like Chicken Biscuit said, Hustler Dan. Cowboy
Just like
Hustler
the
Dan.
greats.
So, hashtag Dylan is my spirit animal is still trending on Twitter. So make sure you guys do keep on making that a possibility.
Oh,
But
definitely.
he made a very good assessment there in what the quality should be for the next coach. Someone who is very rigid with his kind of tactics, someone who knows exactly what he wants from his players, can demand from his players, and someone that the players will respect automatically.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
when Zidane comes into the Real Madrid coach into the locker room, I think he's automatically respected
Instant respect. That's what I'm saying.
because of who he is, what he's done. Granted, he didn't have the best managerial career when he took over Real Madrid,
No,
but
he was terrible like
everyone knew
Castillo.
who that was, and even for the likes of someone like Ronaldo, you know,
Listen, he came in with a bad record from Castilla. The rest is history.
yeah, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see if America does get a new coach, or if Piojo Herrera maybe, who knows, maybe Piojo becomes the next Sir Alex Ferguson, but for America, winning the
Yes.
title after title after title.
Okay, well, it starts this December then. If that's the case, it starts this December.
It needs to.
It needs to. It needs to happen.
All right. Well, thank you, Anthony, for that question. Alrighty, moving on into the next one, and this one comes from Mr. Kevin Perez,
Mm-hmm.
who is actually here on the live chat right now too. So shout out to Mr. Kevin,
Shout out.
who says America played all Clásicos at home this season. Whoa, and drew all of them 0-0 against Cruz Azul. Technically, we were away, but we knew we were home because of the Estadio Azteca. 1-1 versus Chivas and 2-2 versus Pumas. Would we have done better playing any of those away? Obviously, not counting the Cruz Azul one. Very interesting question. And I say so
Wow.
because it's not just any game he's talking about. It's three big important games in regards to a Clásico.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would things have changed if we played away? The way we were playing around the time, maybe
I don't think
the
so.
one that I think maybe possibly would be the Cruz Azul one if we were playing at the Estadio Azul. But I think
Overall, I don't think so. I
yeah,
think it probably would have been the same thing.
I think we lose against Pumas. in
I don't think we lose. Um,
yes. I think we lose against Pumas, and so I think we draw still against Chivas in the Only Life, or as they like.
yeah, we would draw. We would draw against Chivas. But then again, Chivas was really bad back then. Even at home too, they had a really bad record at home.
Yeah, but you see how they play against us, and it's like they come
No, yeah, I
alive all of a
know.
sudden.
But
I
we should realistically we should have scored 4 goals on them though.
We should have. We should have
We
won that
should
game.
have. We should have definitely won that game.
We know. We know. We should
Yeah,
have.
we know. We know we should have won that game.
But it takes more than just actually having to know that
Yeah.
you actually need to go out and win it.
Yeah, we probably would have lost against Pumas, to be honest.
I think
Yeah, you're right.
no, it wouldn't have made a difference better.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. It would have made a difference worse, definitely.
Yes.
We would have been worse away,
It would've
definitely.
been
Yes.
But it is an interesting point to take
No,
because
yeah, definitely.
you realize that all these games were technically home, and none of them came out with a victory, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually leaves a sour taste in my mouth now because now we have to play two of those 3 away next season.
And it's gonna be difficult, of course.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
can imagine it's gonna be a whole new Chivas.
Oh, especially with the rumor signings that they're rumored to have, and then Pumas. You never know with Pumas,
Yeah, you never know. You're either gonna get this great Puma side at home,
Mhm.
or you're gonna get someone that like we ran over 4-0 in the Liga.
In the Liga, yeah, and Cruz Azul. I don't see them declining next season.
Nope.
So
it's gonna be a tough one.
It's gonna be tough, yeah. Like I said, 2 of those 3 away as well.
So I mean, thank you, Kevin, for
that's
an interesting question because I do feel like if we would have played in a different venue, maybe at least one result would have been different. One result would have been different, but I feel like it would have been in a worse result for us in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's kind of that. In but yeah, thank you again, Kevin, for that great question. Now let's move on to a question from the group chat here in the live chat. Mr. Chicken Biscuit says, "Who's your favorite for UCF at the moment?" Now, this is interesting because it's not an America or a Liga MX based question. We said everything was on the line here. You guys could have asked anything. And here's our first non-America, non-Liga MX question. It is, who is your favorite Champions League for the moment?
I'm biased.
I mean, yeah, go ahead, say it. I mean, if you're biased, you're biased.
I'm going to give my biased answer, then I'm going to give my non-biased answer.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna give my non-biased first. My non-biased answer would, at the moment, and it hurts me to say it honestly, but it's either Juventus or Barcelona.
Okay.
My biased answer and the eventual winner will be Real Madrid, obviously. But for right now, we're gonna let these two have their moments for right now, and then when quarterfinals comes, they're both out of here, and then Real Madrid wins the Champions League. So that is how this one will pan out. Don't watch it anymore because I just told you the answer.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. I actually am going, if I had to give a biased answer, I'm going to say Manchester United, but my poor little heart can't take it. So I'm just like I said it. But thinking on it and seeing what some of these teams have been doing, I mean, you got to look at Chelsea and what they're, fantastic record that they got going on right now. I think Chelsea can go far. I could see them making the final. I don't know so much about winning. Real Madrid, you never know what they're gonna turn around in the second half of the season. They could easily come back.
Wait, is Chelsea in Champions League?
Oh wait, no.
I think Chelsea's in Europa League.
Oh, never mind. I was going off their their Premier League and I guess Europa League.
Mm-hmm.
Shaking my head. Now
shaking my head. Oh yikes! We might have to edit this out.
No, we're leaving it. So everyone go troll me on Twitter.
Everyone go troll Ivan, please.
I would say
Ivan, what's your Twitter?
My Twitter handle is at Ivan Pineda 83. So go do what you must. Go do what you must. I mean, yeah, obviously Juventus looking very good.
Listen, any team with Ronaldo, a clear favorite.
He is Mr. Champions League.
That is the best Champions League player in history.
So I mean, be interesting to see what that happens. But I mean, they did lose against Manchester United
They
at
did.
home.
They did lose against Manchester United. You're right.
While a part of me says Manchester United, but I know that was a fluke.
Don't worry.
So many things are wrong with United right now, but we're not gonna get into that. But yes, I think I'd agree with you. Juventus is probably one of the strongest still favorite for winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I said Chelsea, guys. That was bad. That was bad and embarrassing. But moving on into the next question. Thank you, Mr. Chicken Biscuit, for that as always. All right, moving on. Mr. Luis Ixta, that is at LEAIST30 on Twitter.
Follow.
Who should leave in the transfer window?
The whole team. No, I'm just joking. Does he want one player or does he want a select few? Because I can name a select few.
Let's give him three names. Three
names
that should leave in the transfer window.
3 names right off the bat. The first one, Cecilio Dominguez.
Okay.
Out. Well, see, this is hard now because there's a lot of people on the bench that should leave too, you know? You know what? I'm just give you 3 starters just to spice things up a bit. The 3 starters or, you know, regulars off the bench. I'll give you that one. Okay, so Cecilio should leave. Oribe Peralta.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Emmanuel Aguilera.
Okay. I agree with 2 of those names. I don't think Peralta should go.
You don't think Peralta should go? Okay.
I think he stays. And I think he eventually
I think he stays too, but if, you know, the heart wants, you know, what the heart wants.
Yeah, if he's calling for Santos, then maybe, but
yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. Those 2 are probably at the top of my list too. Cecilio Dominguez, even though a lot of people will say, but he's still young, he can still pick.
Oh, he's very young, honestly.
I get it.
I guess we're giving him too much flack for being bad, but we still have to realize he is still relatively really young, actually.
But I mean, who's to say that he hasn't reached his kind of, you know, capacity?
So let's go on the mountain.
You know, we'll have to wait and see. Would be interesting to see if he was to leave with all this rumor mill going on.
Right.
But for me, Cecilio Dominguez. Emmanuel Aguilera. I believe we can do much better in the defense department than him.
There's Edson Alvarez on the bench.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's a shock.
And I mean, this is tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because, like you said, there's a couple of bench players that probably should see the light of day in America. In regards to leaving, I think.
That's the name 2 off the bat. Honestly, Pedro Arce and what's his name? I don't even know how to pronounce his name to this day. Insaralde. Yeah, see, those two never play, so they should obviously leave. But you know, I don't want to give you the generic answer. I'll just give you 3 from the starting and regulars off.
Yeah, I mean, damn, this is hard.
It is hard.
Carlos Vargas.
Wow, Carlos Vargas. Yeah, he doesn't get playing time at all anymore.
I mean, let's face it. We all thought he'd be a great defender, and then came Jorge Sanchez.
Yeah, Jorge Sanchez, right? Which, by the way, could see minutes this Saturday. So that's a big plus for us.
With a hand brace.
With the hand brace, yes. But because it was rumored that he was out for the whole Liga, so this news is music to my ears.
Definitely. I think we'll see him come second half. I think we talked about it in the last podcast, too.
I think we did, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So those are a couple players.
Interesting enough, on the topic of players leaving America, there is a lot of people on Twitter that want Renato Ibarra to leave this December. I'm pretty sure you've seen it too. I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. And I know that chat's seen it too. So I really want to get your thoughts about this. Why does 40% of the America fan base want Renato Ibarra to leave? In your opinion?
Because
he's old pace?
It's tricky because there's a lot of things that you have to take in consideration when it comes to Renato Ibarra.
I guess the biggest one would be his injury-prone level.
That and the fact that he hasn't scored goals and people are looking at it
Right.
and
Okay.
say he's not scoring.
Hmm.
You know, you look like someone that he about to win. He scored a couple goals here and there, scored a big one against Chivas. Um, I think people don't really take into consideration or appreciation everything he does on and off the ball, moving the team forward. He
Hmm.
carries us literally sometimes on his
Yeah.
back.
Hmm.
Um, I've said it time and time again on this podcast. He's by far the most creative player we have on the pitch,
Yes. Hmm.
alongside Diego Lainez. He's the one that always usually gives 100%, and he's always striving for the team. He feels the colors, and he really plays a very, very good game. I feel like a lot of people are just looking at him and saying they're waiting for him to explode into something more.
Okay.
Um, and I think with what you get from Renati Ibarra is what you see is what you get, but what you get is very, very good, versatile player who's fast, who has great ball control. If you see him run down the line with the ball at his feet, he keeps that ball so close to his feet. It's ridiculous.
Dribbling 99.
Extremely 99. Um I I I think that some people just kind of don't realize it what his work ethic is because it's
Right.
really good. So
Hmm.
you see him, he drops down too and helps out. Um, I'm baffled. I'm really baffled by the fact that you know, like you said, 40%
Hmm.
would like to see Ibarra go.
And I wish I was lying, but it is 40%. Like it's mostly like this past week and the week or so. There's a lot of people saying, Irate Ibarra, it's time to go.
And the crazy thing is, and he didn't even take that long to adapt to
Right.
Mexico. I think
No.
he came off and running as he always does.
Yeah.
So again, it baffles me. It really does surprise me. I don't know what you guys think about it too, but
Mhm.
by far one of my favorite players, if not my
Same.
favorite player for America for these past 3-4 years.
Okay.
The thing he's been able to do, I think he's carried this team very well. The way he's carried himself has been very well as well. You've never seen him kind of run any headlines because he's a very good professional. He's someone with very good work ethics on and off the pitch. And
Mhm.
I think some people kind of lose track of that and focus more on the goals,
The goals,
you know,
the flashy plays, Mhm.
exactly. And while Renato Ibarra can do very good flashy plays, he can take one or two players off, but his thing is more direct in a sense.
Right.
When he gets the ball, runs at a defender, whether he needs to cut inside or whether he has to cut out, and
Mhm.
and then in doing so takes on a player, and then he crosses the ball in, and that's his game, and
Yeah.
that's produced so many goals for us. And I think some people maybe forgotten exactly how much he's contributed
Definitely.
to this America side.
And you see it when he's not on the pitch. America looks completely different.
Exactly, and perfect example is when you take it back to the Santos game.
Oh, definitely.
When he starts on the bench, a lot of people maybe
Yeah.
didn't question it, or if they did, didn't seem to want to follow up on it. But America looked very poor without him,
Yeah.
and then to give him only 8 minutes to try to impact, I think in that sense too has maybe diminished him.
Yeah.
But very good,
Mhm.
very good topic you bring up right there. Very, very good. But thank you again, Mr. Luis, for that question. All right, now a question that is very close to you, my friend, because you are someone who's thought about this constantly. Now this question comes from Justin on Twitter. His at is at Justin underscore SGG. Justin,
Ask me, Justin.
any plans on expanding outside of YouTube?
Ooh, the podcast he's referring to. I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
The podcast. Now, can we talk about it or?
We can give some kind of hints here and there. We can't give specifics, of course, because we do
Right.
want it to be surprises. But yes, we do have kind of ideas on how to branch out
Big.
from
Big.
YouTube.
Big.
We will say this. I mean, all of this actually, wouldn't be a possibility without you guys, the listeners. Christian, I mean, has come to me with golden ideas, which we are looking into. The way the podcast is even run, the way you guys will see the podcast soon. everything is going to change. We're going to have a whole makeover for the Eagle Eye podcast come next year. We're very excited. We're going to give more details
Very.
whenever we can. Right now we'd be like that one sign that says under construction.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But hopefully you guys like the new ideas that we have coming on, not just for the podcast itself and how we manage ourselves outside the podcast, but also what we do on YouTube. We've talked about certain different things that we have planned. More
2019 is our year, boys.
2020. You guys just wait. You guys are all coming to the top with us.
Oh, dude, and it feels so good when this all happens.
Definitely. So yeah, Justin, we do have a lot of we do have a lot of things in mind in regards to what we can do outside of the podcast and YouTube in regards to expanding. I think and a better way to say it also is to find a way to be able to reach more of you, interact with more of you. I mean,
that's our main goal.
Yeah, that's always been our main goal.
Mm-hmm.
And
but just to piggyback of what you're saying, we're not leaving YouTube. We're never gonna leave YouTube. So just I guess in expanding, reaching new audience, I think Ivan hits it on the point. I think if we were to expand, hint, this would be a way to reach more of you guys and to grow even more as a community.
Definitely. So there is plenty of plans in the works, and we will share them with you guys all whenever.
Like that sign coming soon in 2019. We should post that somewhere. It's gonna be funny. But yeah, big plans for 2019, and hopefully everything will come to fruition.
Yeah, hopefully. Now we're gonna backtrack a little bit because I think someone here in the chat has brought up great points here. Mr. Gerardo Alvarado says, in regards to the whole Renato Ibarra situation, it's not so much that he hasn't been good, but we need him to give us more. Him and Cecilio Dominguez were sold to us as more and have improved their worth. I can name more players. Let me backtrack right here. I can name more players the club could have gotten with the same amount of money with a higher percentage of adapting better. Now that is very interesting.
I like that second point because that is true.
Yes,
that is definitely true.
Yes. I will defend Renato Ibarra here, though. He was sold to us with this kind of saying that he's from Europe. He's this great, fast-paced winger.
That was our big transfer for the 100 year, right? That was the transfer.
Him and Cecilio Dominguez.
Right. Okay.
I will say this. I think Renato Ibarra, if you look back and if you really did your homework on who he was, he's done exactly what he did in Vitesse here in America. I mean, the way I see it is Ibarra has proven himself, has come to America, has adapted, and has given us exactly what we were sold on. In regards to the way that I see it, because I focus on him a lot during the games, and I see what is he doing off the ball? What is he doing with the ball? What is he doing when he loses the ball? I think you see the type of player he is, the hustle he has. He's a very, very good player. And you try to see what Cecilio Dominguez does, those two aren't compatible in a sense, because I think Ibarra's up here while Cecilio Dominguez is still down here. Yes, Cecilio Dominguez was sold to us as Paraguay's young golden boy.
Yes, that is true. And that's how I saw it. That's why I was so excited to when he was announced, because of what I've heard and what I've seen about Cecilio Dominguez. But I think his point right now, I agree 100% with you. I'm actually going to defend Renato here, because Renato is right now literally the best player in America besides Guido Rodriguez. We can't go Guido Rodriguez, right? But Renato Ibarra is top two, definitely. He has proven himself, yes. I think people I think it goes back to my first point. I think people do see him as injury prone, and maybe that's why people don't really give him the credit that he deserves. But when he is on that pitch, he does give 110% of him every single game. He is a game changer. We saw it in the Santos game. You know, Renato wasn't there. We just didn't look like America, and it's true. Because when Renato is there, we do see a lot of the play go through him, and a lot of our chances are from him. So, you know, can Renato give more? Definitely, he could score more because we know he can score. But in terms of what he has done already and what he is doing this season, for the most part, he has proven himself. Cecilia, on the other hand, you know, that's a whole different story, and we can talk. We can probably spend a whole podcast on Cecilia Dominguez, but we're not gonna get into that. But I will defend Renato Ibarra here.
Well, like you said, I think Gerardo makes a great point in the second part where he
In the
said,
second part, I completely agree with you because with that money, we probably could have gotten quote unquote better players
who's someone who could have adapted much better, or someone maybe that who already was adapted,
like Dylan.
like who?
Dylan.
Dylan?
Yeah, Cowboy Dan. We could have. America could have got him. Would have made a big difference in America.
Definitely. I mean, what more could you have asked?
That's what I'm saying.
But it's true. It's true. I feel like, though, yes, a lot of people will say that Renato Ibarra probably can give more. I would say I like to say that I maybe am a little bit kind of content with him because I've seen what he's done. And maybe it's because of the lack of what other people are doing, which is why he stands out so much for me in regards. Because I feel like he is one of those players that maybe will be forgotten in recent America years after he leaves the club. Kind of gives you a bit of that Rosine-esque. Right? Now, he was much better than Rosine.
100% much better than Rosine.
But a player like, because Rosine had his good moments.
Yeah, he had his good moments, but like I wouldn't put him top 5 all America.
No, but, and I'm not saying another about a top 5 in America history at all.
No, definitely not. No, he's nowhere near top 5.
I'm just saying what he's doing right now.
That's what I'm saying though. Right now, he's pretty good right now. You know, there shouldn't be that much hate from the America fan base towards Renato Ibarra. But because if Renato Ibarra, God forbid, actually, you know what? I don't even want to say this right now because I might jinx it. You know, I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Okay, well, in regards to hoping that Christian does not jinx Renato Ibarra, I will say this though: he has 1 year left on his contract, so it's interesting that these rumors start going and piling up because, well, technically he's on 6 months once the January transfer window hits.
I keep saying it. That window is gonna be very big for us.
Does he go? Does he stay? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
A lot of people.
We have to wait.
We're going. It's gonna be big. Stay tuned.
It should be a good one. It should be a good one. But again, we digress. Thank you again, though.
Yeah, that's good point.
That was a very good point. Very, very good point. And I think it really gets us, gets things in a different perspective in that sense. But moving on to the next Twitter question, and this one has 2 parts.
2 parts. Go for it.
Mr. Ryan on Twitter at Ryan_102 says, Ivan and Dylan, well, I guess it's just going to be me.
Wow.
Walk us through the process of adding a new member to the podcast. And Chris, feelings when they asked you to join. So I will go first. And then
you go first, yeah.
To give you this kind of idea. Now, great question, Ryan. And I will tell you this: we had no intentions on adding anyone when we.
This is true.
When we made this podcast, me and Dylan said, we're gonna go through it, and it's gonna be me and him, and we're just kind of test the waters out, see how things going, because we didn't even know if we were gonna be good at this, if this was even gonna be sustainable for us, and if we were even gonna have listeners. Turns out that we did, and of course we're very grateful for all of you. But it was interesting because the way that we kind of went through the process of picking Christian, because we picked Christian. It wasn't that we were looking for someone to come on. It was Christian stood out to us, and we tested the waters to see if he was the perfect person that we had in mind. It turns out it was. And the thing was that, like I said, we had no intentions of adding anyone. At the moment, we it was just us two. And the thing that stood out to us about Christian was the fact that he was doing things for us, and one, never asked for anything in return, never even asked to come onto the podcast whatsoever. He was
I
just
was
there.
scared.
He was just there, helping us, making us banners, making us logos, making us things for Twitter. And he did this all out of the kindness of his heart because he just wanted to see a podcast that he enjoyed grow. And that really stood out to us. So much that that me and Dylan started talking more about Christian, about having him come on the pod. That first season we did, he wasn't able to because of school. Uh, but
Yeah,
but we actually got connected with each other. We exchanged phone numbers. We started a group chat. We talked about America. We talked about things outside of America. We grew a friendship. Um, and from that, I think me and Dylan said, you know what, let's have him on the podcast. And without even telling him that he kind of was on trial, uh, brought him on, and we, he came on as a guest, and he did fantastic. We really liked kind of the energy the three of us had, and because of that, we then said, okay, me and Dylan agreed, said, he's perfect. At the time being, Dylan was probably gonna miss a couple of shows because of work.
oh
Um,
yeah.
and so we thought this is perfect. He would come in, he'd adapt, and it was going to be a lot more of these kind of episodes where it's just me and him. But
Oh,
uh,
that was terrible.
things 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 panned out differently, and now it's us three. But that is the story of how you got the Eagle Eye Boys. It's not to say that we will never add anyone again, and it's not to say that this is a closed panel, because it's not. At the moment, though, yes, we're not looking for someone, but you never know. Come the future, things are different. We will never close our doors to you guys, the community, especially to our listeners. But that is not to say that you guys can never come on. We are always looking at you guys to come on. If you guys ever have kind of this urgency to come on and kind of speak your opinions and anything like that, you guys are more than welcome to. You guys can always get in contact with myself, Dylan, Christian, whoever it is,
Definitely.
podcast page. You guys come to us, and we're more than happy to have you guys on here, and we'll try to accommodate with your guys' schedule and with ours. Just because, like we said, it's a very important for us to know that you guys are the most important factor within this. As much as we're the ones talking, we're the ones behind the microphone. You guys do the most important part. But listen,
Oh, definitely.
without you guys, there is no podcast.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you guys have ever wanted to come on, if you guys ever had any opinions, make sure you guys let us know. We're more than happy to have you guys on here. And who's to say that down the line in the near future we don't add someone else to the panel, and we interchange and all that stuff.
Yep.
We have a very open mind in regards to you guys, and our doors are always open for all of you guys as well. So make sure you guys do get in contact if anything like that. But that is kind of the process that went through when we picked Christian. And like we said, the thing that stood out was that he never asked for anything in return. He was only doing this out of the kindness of his heart, and that really stood out to us because no one else was doing something like that for us. And it was interesting because it was like when we were just barely starting. So we want to thank you, Christian, again for all the hard work, and now I guess this is your part where you answer the question.
Right, it was the feelings, right? The feelings. Yeah. Okay.
Of how they when we asked you to come.
All right, so let me give you guys a backstory first about why I did everything. Like I guess this ties into the feelings part, but I just stumbled upon this podcast on Twitter, and I said, "What is this all about?" Like, I just never knew that people talking about my favorite team in English, because that's just uncommon, unheard of, or whatever. So I clicked on it, and funny enough, yeah, they were talking about it, and I was like, wow, what the hell? Like this is honestly crazy. It's insane to me. So I listened the whole thing. I listened the following week, and then the following week, and then I'm like, wow, okay, this is something I really want to get behind and support. See this grow, because who knows, maybe these guys can go big one day. and I'd like to see that happen. So I think the first thing I ever did was, I think, the banner, if I'm not mistaken, the Twitter banner on, I think it was that. Um, I guess a little bit more of a backstory. I came from, before all of this. This was I had a, not really a job, more like a community helper kind of thing. I don't know. It was like in graphics or whatever. And they always said to make like your page stand out, to have very important stuff. On the banner I think you guys had previously, there was just your Twitter on it. I would believe, or I think your YouTube link as well. I'm not too sure about that, but I don't quote me, because I really don't remember your old banner. I don't know if you even remember your old banner.
The less you remember, the better.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, listen, let me help these guys. Let me make something so when you click on their Twitter page, you can see like, okay, they're located here, they're located here. I can find them here. I know when they're gonna be on. I know who the people are. So just an instant thing. So I was like, hey guys, I made this for you guys. If you guys want to use it, you might go for it. You don't have to use it, but maybe something to help you guys out. They said, thank you so much. What do I owe you? Nothing in return. Don't worry about it. And I just kept doing it. And I kept doing it. But then I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I kept doing it over and over and over again until until it fit perfectly. And then like it got to the point where I think I was sending them one every like 3 weeks or one every 2 weeks. It got that bad because I'm just that much of a perfectionist or whatever. But that was that. Now, when the first time they asked me, I honestly couldn't, because I was scared, even though I low-key was. But no, it was something about school, so that's why I couldn't join. But I had to make it a thing to join the second time, because I was like, listen, if I'm gonna want to support them and do something that I actually like, I have to give this a chance. So without going into it, because I didn't think they were even looking at me to be on the panel, so to say, I was like, you know what, let's do this. Let's do it, because I'm very excited and I want to support. So I did it. And then I get the message, listen, can you come on next week again? And I was like, yeah, I mean, why not? I know I think I did pretty bad that first one, but if you guys want to have me again, that's fine. You guys can go back and watch that one. I was actually very terrible at that one. Go look at it. It was really bad, honestly. I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, the second week happened, and then after the second episode, they kind of told me beforehand, listen, we really want you to be on the podcast. And I was like, I when I got that text, I was like, wow, like this is about to happen. Like I'm actually gonna be doing something talking about America in English. It was, I wouldn't say a dream come true, but it was a very amazing opportunity, and I know I couldn't say no to it. So it was amazing, and I'm so grateful and thankful to Ivan and Dylan for even considering me to be on the panel. And now we're here.
Yep, now we're here, part of the Eagle Eye Boys mixtape dropping soon. No, it's great. It's great to kind of have these kind of stories to be able to tell, because it's these things that they just happen sometimes. So hopefully we answered your question well, Ryan. Like I said, we always have this door open for the community.
Definitely.
Alrighty, we'll move on to the next question, and this one comes from the live chat, Mr. Emperor. Am I saying that? Emperor Palpatine?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Palpatine.
Doesn't matter. You know who you are, and we know
who you are.
The question is, how do you guys feel about Mateus Uribe? That is something that we've talked about quite consistently on the podcast for the past couple of weeks. Christian, I'll let you go because he's someone that you kind of held very high, and this year hasn't really been going so well.
See, you guys really can't see if you're listening on SoundCloud, Spotify, but that's my lock screen, actually. Mateus Uribe is my lock screen. He is my favorite player on America. I know he's having a poor season. I think poor is the right word. I love Uribe, and we all know what he's capable of. It's hard. Uribe's situation is hard, only because I say, as a professional, you really shouldn't let outside problems interfere with your work. But when it's about your family, it gets a little bit to like that spot where like it's like, I don't know, Uribe's situation is hard. I know if he stays, for the Clausura, he'll be 10 times better, and he's back to the Uribe that we know and love. I'm not giving up on Uribe yet. I still think he still has, I still think he can produce what he did last season for us.
I agree. I agree. Um, I mean, he's someone that just completely tore it up coming into the league, and now he's died off after the World Cup, and it's interesting, because you would have imagined that he would continue this good run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Very crucial, very important player. I mean, what more can we say?
Yeah. Listen, I love Uribe. He's gonna come back next season if he stays with us.
I, I think he does stay. I think he does stay. He sees the rest out of his contract. I don't know. I would feel like maybe after this, he has to get whatever he needs to get situated. We'll see a much better Mateus Uribe.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully things go better because we do miss him.
Yeah, miss him a lot, definitely.
Going forward,
and Guido misses him too.
Yes, because Guido's like, yo, can't be doing this for that much longer.
Yeah, but yeah,
Goodness.
Amazing player. Like Emperor just said, a little bit of a roadblock, but he'll be back next season.
Hopefully. Now we're running to the end of questions here, unless we get more questions here in the live chat. But our last question on Twitter comes from Mr. Hot Cup of Clark 2. Twitter handle is at blank it kid, who asked a very peculiar question. It says, top 3 favorite primary colors.
Wait, is that a trick question?
Yes. Because there's only 3 primary
There's only 3 primary colors.
And funny enough, what are the colors? Red, blue, and yellow.
Yellow. Red, blue, yellow.
What more do you want to say but the logo for America has all 3 colors in them? But of course, those are our favorite colors in the prime section. I thought it was hilarious that he asked that. It was only
wait, I didn't see that one actually. So that's actually I was like, wait, it has to be a true question.
It has to because there's only 3.
Okay, I was about to say green, but then I was like, wait, hold up.
No, there's no green. That is actually part of the secondary colors.
Yeah,
quite tricky.
Quite tricky, but you caught it though. So you caught it, so you're good.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, what? No, but it was a great question, and it really kind of caught you off guard. So thank you, Hot Cup of Clark. Very, very good question. Thank you. Thank you to everyone on Twitter who submitted questions. Very, very fun. I think we still got a couple more questions here on the group chat. I mean, well, this has been very fun.
Yes, this is very fun.
And we should definitely
we should do this often.
Yeah, we should do these more often. These Q&As whenever we are permitted. But moving on to the next question. How do you feel about Roger? I'm pretty sure you meant to say Roger. We put Roger. Roger. Mr. Emperor says, which is funny. We kind of talked about it.
We talked about
earlier
it
about it. I guess if we want it's we're still waiting on him, but his time is coming to an end shortly in regards to the fan base.
At first we thought it was the adaptation. He wasn't adapting to Mexico or the Liga MX quite yet, but I mean, we're a whole season in and we haven't seen any improvement. If he has another one of these seasons next season, he's gone in June. But I hope that's not the case because we see the potential that he has. We often, thinking him as, a Cabañas type player, and we know how good Cabañas was for us. So hopefully, something happens this season where it just clicks and goes on, or we'll just have to wait till next season and he can blossom there.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna move on to the last question of tonight's podcast. Mr. Gerardo, says, what do you guys think about our strikers? Mainly Menace. I don't see Guido Rodriguez or Mateo Uribe coming out for him. A
Hmm.
very good question. The first time we mentioned Menace in this podcast, uh, we hardly have ever mentioned him this season. It's looked like we've forgotten that we still have a Frenchman under our books.
I don't forget.
It would be interesting that he would be coming back for the Clausura.
Yes, he is
Isn't
coming back for
it?
the classroom.
Yes, he's coming back for the Clausura. Looks like he might be ready beforehand. Maybe we'll see him in a couple of friendlies. Prior
Maybe,
to that.
but maybe
That is a big maybe though.
that is a
Um,
big, huge.
I think if we're thinking about our strikers, Menace is definitely a good option. He isn't a quote unquote striker. I think he would be
Yeah.
playing that role that Oye Peralta is playing right now.
Hmm.
But he could possibly be the answer to our
That's
problems.
what he isn't. He's one of those game changer type players. When Mendes was not on the field last season, for the most part, I'm not saying all the time, but when he was not on the field, America looked a little bit flustered, a little bit too. How should I say? Like they were trying to force everything too much, and Mendes comes in and it's like, "Yo, listen, relax, guys. We know how to play. Let's just slow down the tempo a little bit. To start passing a little bit more creative." And that was Menez. He often put those passes that you didn't think that can happen, and he just did it in most cases. But then you had River Parada last season who missed almost every single one of them. So that's why Menez doesn't really get the recognition that he should.
No, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think Emperor says it too. It seems that he was adapting to Mexico before his injury, and then of course his injury comes, and
At
that
the
kind of
worst
derailed
time
him.
ever.
Um, it's unfortunate, but these things happen in Mexico. It is a very unfortunate thing that Menace, as great as he is, it does seem that he's made out of glass. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, he can come in and finish off his 6 months on a very good high note.
Strong, yeah. I really hope so.
Because remember, he has the option of getting one more year with America,
He does.
but whether America decides to take it is going to be up to Menace and what he can produce in 6 months, which is a very short time to produce.
It is a short time.
Very short time.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting to see what Menace is capable of doing. Now, no one's going to question his talent. No one's going to question exactly what he's done. I mean, what more could we ask for Menace?
uh, to not be made out of glass. I mean, listen, he's a great player, and there's no denying that. I honestly, I don't think a lot of people see him that way. I don't think people see Mendes as a good player. I just think that he's just there just for the money, honestly. No passion, no nothing. But in my eyes, I do honestly think that he does make a difference.
I agree. I think he does. I think he does. But who does he come in for?
What do you mean?
For Oribe?
Mhm.
We did see Oribe start on the bench against Cruz Azul, and the team didn't look so bad.
He was flirting with retirement, wasn't he?
They looked like it.
Or going back to Santos for his last season ever.
We'll have to wait and see.
We have to wait and see. I know.
But I think you're right. Menace would definitely be a very good player. I mean, could you imagine the partnership between Menace and Roger? What
That's what I'm
that could
saying.
possibly be?
That's what I'm saying. Roger needs to be fed balls, and Mendes can feed you balls.
It would be interesting to see that partnership come to fruition.
Yeah. Or imagine a triangle: Menez, Roger, and Henry, all playing off each other.
I think Cowboy Dan would be ecstatic with that.
I think I would love that idea.
He really would. But now here comes the real tough question. What happens to our boy Diego
So
Lainez?
Diego Lainez, I was just about to get that. Well, Menez does like playing in Lainez's position, and Lainez does prefer that position. But we also gotta take account what if Cecilia does leave? What if Renato does leave in December?
If Renato does leave, I promise you we're getting a replacement. We're not looking at Lainez.
Right.
And that's the wrong move to make, but I think we all know and understand this club.
Yeah, you're right. But Linus isn't leaving this December. I know that.
He would most likely leave in the summer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This summer is gonna be huge for us, guys. I'm gonna keep repeating it. I think that's gonna be my new thing now. From now on, I think I'm gonna repeat that the summer of 2019 will be a big transfer window for Club America, and I'll stand by that. But until then, yeah, I don't see Linus leaving in December, so that does raise a question of like, what does happen to Linus?
Because look, I will argue that I would much rather have Diego Lainez in that cam spot.
Right. And
But
Menezes is
not
a
to
super
say that
sub?
he can't do it on the wings. It's just I I feel like he feels more comfortable being in a free roam position.
Yeah, he does. And he said it before. He's like, I like to play there.
We'll have to wait and see. Piojo's gonna have a really, really tough time on his hands.
Right. But I mean, I don't know if Menez will be 100% come jornada number 1 of the clausura.
No,
So maybe until then he can be kind of like a super sub in a sense, Menez, and then have Linus starting. But then I'm not gonna like that if Linus is playing well and by week 5 Menez is 100% ready to play 90 minutes, that Linus will only get 15 minutes of the game, and that's only when Menez comes out, you know.
yeah.
So it's gonna be hard for whoever's in charge of that team next year.
We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and
Mhm.
see. But that wraps it up for our Q&A.
That was
Christian, what do
almost
you
two
got
hours.
about it?
That was almost 2 hours, dude. This was very, very fun. We should do this more often, honestly.
Exactly. This was a very, very fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully, if you guys have listened to it via SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify, whatever it may be, hopefully, you guys have liked our questions, our answers. And thank you to everyone who submitted a question, whether you were via Twitter, whether you were out here live in the chat, and you guys were also very, very great. Thank you so much to everyone who came by and participated. As always, you guys can find us on Twitter at Eagle iPod. You guys can go hit up our DMs, mention us, whatever the case may be. We love interacting with you guys, whether you guys have a question, whether you guys have just something on your mind, whether you just want to talk America. We are always available to you, and you guys can always find our information on our Twitter page. So make sure you guys do follow the Eagle Eye podcast on there at Eagle Eye Pod. Christian, anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, I just want to say thank you for all the questions that we received on Twitter. We gave them a shout out, right? We said their Twitter name.
Definitely.
Okay. So thank you to every. Oh my God, my earbud just came off. Thank you to everyone who asked us on Twitter. Really, really grateful for you guys. Thank you everyone that came on the live chat today and asked us questions there. Like Ivan says, this podcast would not be happening without you guys listening. So thank you guys once again for coming out tonight.
And a huge shout out to anyone who is still listening to the podcast from day one that me and Dylan started recording a year ago, specifically a year ago. Me and Dylan hopped on here and started talking about America. So if you are still listening to this podcast since day one, we just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And thank you for making us just even better by listening to us. Again, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful night. Make sure you guys don't forget America plays this Saturday in the Estadio Nemesio Diaz, but it is on Saturday against Veracruz. Last game of the regular season, closing out, leading off to Liga. Should be interesting where things end up going. Christian, what did you say that the scoreline was going to be?
Oh, I said it was. What did I say? 2-0, 3-0, 2-0. I think. I don't know. We gotta ask Cowboy Dan. I honestly forgot.
I believe you did say 2-0. I said 4-0. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, America does not,
Don't forget that this Sunday, actually, we will know our playoff opponent this Sunday.
So next podcast is going to be huge.
Next podcast, you have to tune into next podcast. We will break down everything we need to know for our upcoming playoff game.
You guys can catch us again Tuesday live here on YouTube, 7 p.m. Not 7 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and of course, 7 p.m. for Mountain time, people. And with that said, Christian, let's close out the show. Thank you again so much for coming on and being a wonderful co-host.
Oh, thank you for having me on, guys, and have a great night, everybody.
Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Have you guys a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving this Thursday. Hopefully, you guys have some great turkey. We'll see you guys next week on YouTube, and you guys can always catch us on Twitter. Until next time, as always, Arriba la America. Take care.
Take care, guys.